Let us close our eyes. Let us remember that divinity is all pervading. Truth is all pervading. Present in the breath, present within as inner awareness, inner self. We bow to God and Gurus within. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shyamacharana Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Ishwaro Gururatmaiti Murti Veda Vibhagini Vyomabhat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. We bow down to Supreme Lord, who is the Adi Guru, or the primordial Master Guru. We bow down to Lahiri Mahasaya in the middle, and to the lineage till Sri Guruji. We bow to Guru as our inner self. We bow to God as our inner self. May the inner guidance, inner blessings guide us in our speech, hearing, and understanding. Om Tat Sat Om. Good morning to all of you. This is our Chicago ashram. I'm in Chicago ashram right now. And this is our bookstore, as you can see in the back. So, welcome to all of you. Pranams. May the blessings of God and Gurus guide us in each and every step. Thank you for joining. So today we'll discuss a very interesting topic that is very close to all of us because of our practice. Not a single day goes in our life when we hear this word concentration. In practical life, daily life, in meditation, while studying, we always being reminded that concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. So today we'll discuss a little bit about concentration. But before that, we'll first think about or little bit explore why concentration is so important. What if we don't do concentration? What happens? Is it absolutely needed? What if we don't? So we'll explore the topics, the necessity of concentration, the definition of concentration, and then how to practice it from our Guru's teachings. Our Guru's teachings, because there are several ways to practice this, but we will go through, we'll discuss the way our Gurus or our lineage have discussed with us. So currently, I'm reading Bhagavatam, so I'll tell a little bit about something I recently read. It's a very beautiful thing. Many years ago, maybe 14 years ago, I was in an Indian town called Pune. I was working there briefly, and there is a very holy place nearby. The name of the place is Alandi. A great saint, his name is Sant Gyaneshwar. In general, in Maharashtra, he is called as Gyanba. Gyanba means Father Gyaneshwar. His samadhi is there, and it is considered as a very holy place. So one day I took my scooter and I went there. I have been to there a few times. So that was my first time. So it is said Sant Gyaneshwar was, I think, 12th century saint, died very young, and died a Jiva Samadhi, means he voluntarily went to a cave and asked his disciples to cover the cave. So that's how he died. He took Samadhi. And it is considered a very holy place in Maharashtra, also all over India. So, and Sant Gyaneshwar is famous. He wrote a book called Gyaneshwari Gita, written in vernacular folk language for easy understanding of the Bhagavad Gita. It's called Gyaneshwari. Anyway, while I was there, I noticed a very interesting thing. One lady has kept her little son, maybe 4, 5 years, 6 years old, and bowing down to him multiple times. This was the first time I noticed this kind of thing. I did not know the meaning. Maybe there is a local tradition. There is another tradition there in that temple, is that there is a place near the temple. There is a huge tree, and underneath the trees, a lot of people are chanting the Gyaneshwari. Extremely pious environment, beautiful. In Indian tradition, knowledge has always been given as the most important factor, not age, not birth, not how much you show up, not how much even you know. Knowledge here means knowledge that we have experienced, or knowledge that we have assimilated, knowledge that we have made it our own. So this is called jnanam, or knowledge. We call it spiritual knowledge, or whichever we call it. So in Indian tradition, anyone with knowledge is a teacher. Anyone. Can be a small boy, can be an elderly man. Nevertheless, respect should be given to all. That has always been the tradition. So in the Bhagavatam, Tritiya Skandha, 19th chapter, there is a dialogue between a mother and a son. The mother's name is Devahuti and the son's name is Kapila. Kapila Muni is considered as the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and is also considered as the propounder or compiler of Sankhya philosophy. Those of you know the 6 philosophies. Yoga is one, and Sankhya is another. It is said that yoga is actually came after Sankhya with a little bit of clarification. Nevertheless, in that, it is a very interesting dialogue, and it is very it has its own context for our discussions today. So the mother is asking to a young child. He says, he doesn't say, oh my child. He said, Bhonata Prabhu Bhagavana Kahatu Paramartha Jnana. He says, Bhonata means, oh Lord. He addresses his son as Lord. That is because her husband had told her that the son that is going to born from us, it would be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So she's addressing her son as an Atha, means, oh Lord. Oh Lord, you are supreme Lord incarnate. Please tell me Paramartha Jnanam. Paramartha means Paramartha. Paramartha means supreme truth, Artha means meaning, reality, supreme reality. O Lord, O the incarnation of Lord, please tell me the supreme reality or the supreme knowledge. Then says Kapila, he was a young boy, little boy. So he's telling him some things. First, he tells him the type of devotees or types of devotion. Either way we can look at it. A devotee is actually a manifestation of devotion. So whatever devotion I manifest, that kind of devotee I am. So he says there are 3 types of devotees. And there are 9 types of devotion. So I'll tell you the 3 types of devotees, and then we can take it ourselves and reflect what kind of devotion we are primarily manifest or primarily cultivate. The first one is tamashika, or the lower form of devotion. The lower form of devotion comes with ego. So what is ego in this sense? That I am a Kriya yogi I practice Kriya. I have been practicing Kriya for 10 years, 15 years. I practice such a number of Kriyas, second Kriya, third Kriya, fourth Kriya. This is a sign of ego or dambha, arrogance. He says that this is the lowest form of devotion. Nevertheless, this is a kind of love, but it is the lowest kind of love. Then he says hinsa. For my devotion, I am okay to hurt others. So we can find examples of it in our life. Then mine and thine differentiation. So you go to a temple, somebody is worshipping this, somebody is worshipping that. We see in religions also the same thing. You follow that religion, I follow this religion. My religion is better than yours. So these kind of ideas are very lower form of devotion. It's called tamashika bhakti or tamashika devotion. Tamas means darkened devotion. Then he says there is activity, devotion of activity, rajasika devotion. There is not a right English word for this tamas, rajas, and sattvic. So we will use lower form, middle form, higher form for simple understanding. So rajasika form of devotion that comes with yasha, fame, aishwarya, wealth or prosperity, and vishaya ichha, desire for objects, desire for possession. So the Kapila Muni says to his mother, he says some people become devotees for name, for fame, for prosperity, and to achieve their objective goal, their middle level of devotees. Highest form of devotees? The highest form of devotees, those who do activities for the sake of Lord. Now, Lord here is generalized. It is not said Vishnu or Shiva or Krishna. It said Ishvara. The definition of Ishvara is that if we take ourselves, this is a simpler understanding that I have understood myself. If I take myself and remove all the impurities from me, from the mind, what remains is Ishvara. So Ishvara plus impurities here means restlessness, desires. All these are called impurities. So Ishvara with impurities added is me. So Lahiri Mahasaya said, Chanchala chitta, chanchala prana jiva, sthira prana shiva. Chanchala prana means restlessness, life is jiva. Jiva means us. Stillness, calmness of prana or life. Life is equal to thoughts here. Each Shiva is Ishvara. I always remember yesterday we had initiation here, and while presenting the meditation process, I mentioned to the people who are taking initiation, I said our Gurudev, Sri Gurudev Hariharananda Baba had said, which is actually summarizes the all aspects of spirituality condensed into one statement. It has practice, it has goal, all these two together. It also has ability to self-analyze. The statement is calmness is godliness. Calmness here means inner calmness. Calmness is godliness. The calmer we are, the more closer we are to the aspect of Ishvara or God. Anything else, any objective of meditation is lower than that. If our meditation, any spiritual practice, any activities is not directed towards calmness, then that activities is not Ishvara Artha. It is not dedicated to God. So he says, devotion or any activities dedicated to God is called Ishvara Artha. Then Dharma Marga means if we are practicing the path given to by us, our forefathers or saints and sages, then that is called Dharma Marga, or the path of duties, path of righteousness. And third one, Sarvatra Samadarshana, means to see equal in others, but that is actually raw translation. It's called equanimity. That means balance of mind. He says these three are considered the highest form of devotion. Lower form of devotion with arrogance, violence, discrimination. Middle form of devotion with objective to get name and fame, prosperity. The highest form of devotion, dedication to Lord or dedication to inner calmness, inner peace. To walk in the righteous path for inner peace and to have equanimity or balanced in life. So equanimity and balance in life means equanimity and balance in mind, equanimity and balance in thoughts, in life force, prana. So these are three varieties or layers of devotion. Then there are 9 types of devotion in the Bhagavatam. I'll briefly say that, I will not explain that. It's called Shravana, hearing Lord's name, Kirtana, chanting Lord's name, Smarana, remembering Lord's name, Pada Sevana, serving Lord's feet. Here actually in Kriya Yoga practice we say remaining in the fontanel. Archana, worshipping Lord, Vandana, welcoming Lord, Dasya, considering as God as my master, means following God's or Lord's instruction. That is what Dasya means. Shakya, considering Lord as my own friend. Atma Nivedanam is the last. Atma Nivedanam means that offering completely myself to Lord. Now I would like you to reflect this statement. Atma Nivedanam. Other things I'm sure you understand here and there. I will go through, some of the questions are coming. I will go through the questions afterwards. Atma Nivedana is a very interesting concept, which is actually in the Yoga Sutra has been called Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana and Atma Nivedana are same thing. Pranidhana means pra means prakrusta, highest. Ni means sit, dha means be there. Atma Nivedana, can you think of that? Is it possible to surrender to somebody? Whoever that person may be, however powerful that person may be, however knowledgeable that person may be. What makes us surrender to somebody? I would like to keep this question to you and keep it as open to reflect. That think about in your life. In many places, you have voluntarily accepted somebody's word. What is the reason behind it? That is Atmanivedanam. Find that reason and expand it. And you will see that that is the reason why we will surrender to God as well. This is a reflection. This is a question I would like to request every one of us to reflect today. What makes us to surrender? Even for a small, even for a brief moment, even for a brief advice. What is it? Why the advice coming from, same advice, coming from two different people have two different effect on us? Why is that? So I would like you to explore this internally through reflection. Anyway, so there are 9 types of devotion, 3 layers of devotion. So we can say there are 27 varieties. If we multiply 9 into 3, so each devotion type can have 3 layers. Most welcome to think how it works. 27 varieties. And then there are 3 categories. 3 categories means one can be Uttama. Uttama means best in that, can be mediocre in that, can be lowest in that. So 3 Uttama, Madhyama, Adhama in 3 varieties, 3 categories, sorry, it would be 81 types of devotion. So we, at any point of time, the sage says, fits into any 81 types of devotion. The reason I am bringing this up is that then Kapila Muni says, Kriya jogare niskamare, mote sevanti jevanare. So he says, through the path of Kriya Yoga and through the path of Niskama, Niskama means, people generally, Niskama is translated as without expectation. But I would like to tell you a little bit thought process about it just after this. Mote sebanti jevanare. Those people who serve me through the practice of Kriya Yoga and without expectation. If they don't do that, then what happens? Indriya jani naparila tenu tara mrutyuvela. Then you will not be able to have control over your sense organs, sense organs and minds together. And then it would be considered as death. That would not be a life. So a life without controlling of sense organs is not a life, the sage says. So if our life is not cultivated for the control of sense organs, sense organs and mind, then life is as good as death, he says. What is Niskama? Niskama is generally translated as without expectation. So they say work without expectation. But is it practically possible? You are going to an exam and you don't expect to pass. You are planting a tree. You are not expecting the trees to grow. You are getting married or starting a family. You have no expectations to have a happy family. Is it possible to start something without expectation? Practically, it doesn't look like. But then what does the masters are telling? Sri Krishna said also in the Bhagavad Gita. Ma phalesu kadachana, he says. Without objective, mind cannot start a project or mind cannot start an endeavor. It is not possible. So if it is not practically possible, then yoga is not practical. Yoga would be impractical. So the masters have given a little bit deeper clarification. They say, no. It is not that when you start something, you should not have a goal. You must have a goal actually. So if I am starting a company, I must have a goal that I will grow this company to something. If I'm starting my school, I'm going to college, I must have a goal to finish the college, go to job, make a life make a good profession out of it. If I am meditating, my objective is to get calmness, peace, inner awareness. So objective must be there. This is no. Niskama does not mean not to have an objective or not to have a goal. When we get the result back, so when we do something, there will be some result. The result could be better than my expectation, lower than my expectation, matching my expectation, or opposite of my expectation. The master says at that point of time, when the result is coming back, and my expectation being here, the result is either below or above or equal or opposite. Just ask yourself, are you bothered by it? Are you disturbed by it? Is it taking away your balance? Is your equanimity remaining as it is? Are you accepting the result as a grace? If that is so, then that would be called as niskama. So expect the result definitely. Have a goal definitely. But if it doesn't come through as it is expected, then consider that as a grace of God. That is niskama. So, sense control, as the sage is telling, is absolutely necessary for a fulfilling life. So the sage is telling that if the whole mind is invested in the world or worldly objects, then sense organs would not be controlled, and hence the mind would not be controlled. So for the mind control, which is actually the basis of concentration, the sense organs need to be controlled. We'll talk about some practice about it. So this sense control has been defined in the yoga as pratyahara. Pratyahara, ahara means consumption, taking. Anything that we take can be considered as food, ahara, through mouth, through nostril, through eyes, through ears, through touch. Pratyahara means opposite of it. So don't take it. Or take it differently. Take it as the grace of God. This is the basis of concentration. If we do not have concentration, then we are going to lose life. We are going to go towards the sage Kapila said as death. Death means that we did not cultivate our life for fulfillment of life. Hence, he calls it as death. If sense organs are properly controlled and mind is directed towards God, that is considered as life. When sense organs are controlled, the mind is prepared for concentration. So I'll tell you the definition of concentration Sage has given. This is a discussion that we are doing in our Wednesday classes. So some of you who are in Wednesday classes also might find it as repetitive. But nevertheless, these are great learnings. We should hear it as more and more often. The sage gives the definition, Desha Bandha Chittasya Dharana. Desha means place, Bandha means bind, Chitta means mind or thought. Desha means bind, bring together the mind to a place. And that starts the process of concentration. So through pratyahara, through withdrawal, we do withdraw the mind, withdraw the sense organs. And when the mind is prepared by that, then we take the mind and attach it to something for concentration. This has been defined as dharana. Dharana comes from the word dhru. Dhru means hold or behold. Dhru also means good intellect or ability to discriminate, take decision. Nevertheless, concentration means good decision making. Concentration means right holding or good holding on the object that my mind has been put on. It has two aspects, whether the mind can be put on an external object or an internal object. So external objects, some examples have been given, is that this practice, this for spiritual practice, some of the objects that the mind can concentrate upon is moon, pole star, mountain, top of a mountain, tree, deities, gurus or masters. Sky, or anything otherwise that you think you are comfortable at. So there is an example Guru just given, is that one individual loved his buffalo so much that he told his Guru that I can only think of my buffalo nicely. Other than that, nothing else comes to my mind. The Guru said, okay, now onwards you think of your buffalo for next 2 days. So he started thinking of the buffalo, and he got to a state of very deep meditation through that. So I'm not suggesting, neither the Guru has suggested to think of buffaloes, but they said that if nothing is working out, if the mind is not getting concentrated on any one of them, then concentrate on any physical object that you are comfortable at. Then this is the external concentration. The internal concentration is that anything, any part of the body is internal concentration. So heart, navel, between two eyebrows, top of the head, tip of the nose, upper palate in the mouth. These are the areas also somebody can concentrate. Then, which is the most important, it's spiritual places to concentrate. Different centers, we have 7 centers. Feel the vibration sensation. Any mantra the Guru has given, or Om, or divine sound, breath, sound of the breath. When we are making the breath, that is also can be a place of concentration. Divine light that we hear, pulsation. So as you can, these are the areas that we can concentrate from a spiritual standpoint. But think about this. Did you see that how the mind has been slowly being withdrawn from external object to internal object to spiritual ideas? This concept, from grossness to subtleness to subtlest ideas, is actually the concept of meditation. Meditation, in fact, why meditation? Any spiritual practice. And I would like you to take this idea and see whether it fits. Any spiritual practice that we see, anyone, whether chanting, devotion, prayer, is actually taking the mind from grossness to subtleness, eventually to ideas, and eventually it will go to the inner awareness. This is the path. That's why Sri Gurudev said, Nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya, from Purusha Suktam. There is no other path left than to journey this grossness to subtleness. Sthula to Sukshma is the journey. Everybody has to make that journey. Some are making the journey through different means. We are making the journey through the Kriya Yoga practice. Kriya Yoga practice, Guruji says, as you can all know, it gives more importance to the formless aspect of the meditation than the form aspect of the meditation. Now, it does not say that the form aspect of meditation is wrong or should not be done. So that is why in one of the practice it is said, is that when the mind is becoming more and more unstable, you are sitting for meditation, mind is unstable. The Guru has given us advice. Open your eyes and see the deities, or see the Gurus, pictures of Gurus, or read a nice idea, nice teaching. If you do this, the Gurus say, that immediately the mind, instead of running here and there, constrained into an idea, or a picture, or a deity, something, somebody whom you love. This is the grossness of the meditation. Then, when it is the mind becomes steady, then we internalize it. Then how do we internalize it? We internalize in different body parts, in a bow technique that we do. We internalize it through our breath. We internalize it through concentrating on different chakras. Then we go deeper. We internalize it meditating on the divine sound, divine light, divine pulsation that we feel. So this path of grossness to subtleness and eventually elimination of the mind, it is called annihilation of the mind. It is actually, in reality, is the taking the mind to its purest form, is the path of meditation, or path of any spiritual practice for that matter. Many times we must have heard from Gurus also that mind is the real enemy. They also say mind is the real friend. So there is a mantra in Upanishad, manahi manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaha. Mind for the human being is the cause of bondage and liberation. It is said like that. It is true, because one aspect of mind is restless, another aspect of mind is steadiness. But if we go to the scripture says the true nature of mind is calmness. You can think of, let us see, you have a piece of charcoal. Charcoal by nature is black. There is a saying in Sanskrit, I think this is how it goes. Angar satadhutena molina no jayate, something like this. Which means, if you wash this charcoal in milk hundreds of times, thousands of times, it's not going to become white. It's going to retain its own nature, which is black. Similarly, think, if the mind's nature, if the nature of the mind would not have been calmness, we can try thousands of years to make it calm. It will never be calm. Because its nature is calm, because its nature is pure, because its nature is what we call is stillness, hence mind can be transformed from what it is today to its original nature, original state. By what? By removing this molina, by removing impurities. The impurities are nothing but restlessness. In the Yoga Sutra, it has been called as klesha. Anyway, it is said in the Yoga Rashayana, he says, through concentration, what is the objective of concentration? Sarva Siddhi. All around, Siddhi means attainment. All around contentment. Ishwaraha bhavet means all around contentment, all around attainment is nothing but Lord only. Sarva Siddhi Ishwaraha bhavet. This is the objective of concentration. Says Patanjali says that when we do concentration, then what happens? There is an unbroken flow of thoughts, and that is considered as meditation. Says Patanjali has given this definition. We discussed the need for concentration or the objective for concentration. We discussed the definition of concentration. The objective of concentration is to withdraw the mind, withdraw the sense organs, so that we can understand life. The definition of concentration is to hold the mind to a specific place, and the masters have given different layers of space, from gross space to less gross to subtle to subtlest. They have given these ideas. So whenever, depending upon how the condition of the mind is, a specific type of a specific object can be chosen to concentrate upon. That is a choice the masters have given to us. I will share with you some practice that would help us in concentration. First, when we are meditating, suppose we are bowing down, we are doing the bowing technique. If the mind is calm, observe this. If the mind is calm, the Guru would say, stay there a little longer. And if you see the mind is getting into a distortion mode, it is getting disturbed, change the position. So through changing the position, the state of the mind can be altered. This is not extremely something that we cannot experiment. You see, suppose you are lying down and you are getting different kinds of thought. Automatically we change our position. Similarly, while meditating also, if in one position mind seems to be calm and quiet, steady, the Guru say, stay there longer, meditate. Meditate here means concentrate, because meditation comes after little bit of practice of concentration. So concentrate on the divine sound, let us say. Suppose I am concentrating on the divine sound. So I am in my bowing position. I am able to concentrate on the divine sound little better. Then the Guru would say, stay in that position. The moment concentration gets disturbed, change your position. This is a beautiful technique to practice. Another technique I mentioned to you, that if the mind is too much disturbed, the Gurus have said, open your eyes. Open your eyes, look at a beautiful thing, a picture of master, picture of the altar. You can put anything, an idea, a deity, or a prophet, whichever gives you inspiration. Look at that, get the inspiration, again close the eyes. This is another method to practice for good concentration. The next one is from the Bhagavad Gita, and I forgot the sloka number. It says Prasanna Chita. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Prasanna Cheta Sahi Asu Buddhi Paryavatishthate. Prasanna Chita. If the mind is cheerful, concentration comes very easily. So the more we complain in life, for small thing, whatever it is, you will see the concentration will not be good. So again and again remind ourselves that let me be cheerful. Things happen, small things happen. Somebody told me something, somebody did something. To find ways to be cheerful. So to be cheerful, by being cheerful, the mind goes to concentration very easily. Third method. Fourth method, to be prayerful. So pray to the inner awareness, pray to the inner self. Sanal Mahasi says Atma Deva. He said, Sri Guru Chaitanya, He Atma Deva. Hey Guru, you are Chaitanya, your consciousness, your awareness. You are Atma Deva. You are inwardly, you are the divinity within me. I bow to the inner awareness. I bow to the inner divinity. So, pray to the inner awareness, Atma Deva. The concentration would be better. Intermediate pranayama. These are the methods I am telling you. If you like, you can take notes. This is from Baba's teaching from Yoga Sutra. Intermediate pranayama. Anytime you have few minutes, do slow, long, deep inhalation. And if you do Kriya breathing, you can do one Kriya breath. Not necessarily 12. One Kriya breath. Do 3, 4. If possible, 5, 6. No need of counting. It's not that you have to do 12, you must do 12 in one shot. You can just do 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, whatever. The Guru says that in between your work in day-to-day activities, find a minute and do few breaths. Intermediate pranayam. Next one is cultivate gratitude. Be grateful. I have heard personally from Sri Guruji one time in a conversation in Odia. He said, I cannot be ungrateful in my life. He said, I'm eternally grateful to people. Even somebody who has done very little for me, I am grateful to that person. I cannot be ungrateful. So let us cultivate gratitude. The first gratitude that comes, I will end our discussion that how Sri Gurudev practiced gratitude is that what he used to do is that he had a notebook. It used to be near his bed. It probably is there now also. In one page, he has written names of people who has requested him for prayers. In the first page or the second page, written the names of his Guru, Sri Yukteswarji, Sannel Baba, his pre-monastic teachers, Vijay Krishnaji, his Sannyasa Guru, Swami Bharati Krishna Tirthaji, his parents' name, his brothers, his sisters, some family members, some relatives, some friends. So what he does is that he looks at them and inwardly pray for each one of them. That I'm grateful that you have come into my life and you have enriched my life. So gratitude can be practiced from right away, from now. We can say, whoever has come into my life, I am grateful. We would be eternally grateful to three people at least. Parents and Guru. Parents for giving this body and life. Guru for giving the knowledge. So I hope through these practices, as I mentioned to you, be cheerful, be prayerful, intermediate pranayama, gratitude, changing position, concentration would increase gradually and it would be much better. I would like you to experiment this and see how it works and share. We'll meditate for a few minutes, and today we'll meditate on gratitude, thankfulness. Many times, please close your eyes. Sit straight. Many times you must have heard Sri Guruji from before starting a class, he does this prayer. Let us be thankful to God and Guruji. Let us be grateful to God and Guruji. But our gratitude extends far beyond. Our gratitude extends to a very little thing that we have got in our life. We are grateful for the inner power, breathing through this nose, bringing this body to life. We are grateful to breath. We are grateful of God's presence in this body, Guru's presence in this body. We might not have experienced it. saints and scriptures have said about it. Nevertheless, I am grateful to that inner awareness, inner calmness, inner truth, inner stillness. We are grateful to the surrounding, to the environment we are in. We are grateful for a healthy body, healthy mind. We are grateful to our parents. We are grateful to all who has come into my life. Some has taught me what to do, what is good for me. Some taught me what is not good for me. We are grateful to the whole universe. May there be no inauspicious thought within me for any being. Adveshta sarvabhutanam. May there be no inauspicious thought come to me for anyone, any being. May I cultivate friendliness, compassion. May there be always auspicious thoughts within me for all beings. May I cultivate devotion within me for my highest good, self-realization. May the blessings of God and Gurus who are within guide us in each and every step, protect us from restlessness, lead us from restlessness to calmness, from ignorance to knowledge, from darkness to light. May the blessings of God and Gurus be upon us all, remembering God and Guru's presence within and each of you. I humbly bow to you all. Om Tat Sat. Very gently, you can open your eyes. And the Gurus have said, when you open eyes, just remember, even for a little bit of time, that this is manifestation of inner truth, God. Thank you all. There is a little question. So devotion of violence, I think sometimes is necessary for the freedom of the people. The Gita be an example of this. No, so there is a question. It says that whether the devotion of violence means, I'll give an example. Please don't take it personally if it applies to you. Many times when Guruji is here, we fight with each other to be near closer to him. Sometimes we push somebody. That is the devotion of violence. So devotion of violence means depriving somebody of something just because I love somebody. That is devotion of violence. I heard this, that there was in India one time happened. Guruji was standing and somebody came and bowed down and pinched Guruji's feet very hard. And Guruji kind of got shocked. He said, well, you were not looking at me, hence I pinched. So, like that. Self-analysis is needed for devotion, concentration. So I would like you to explore this self-analysis thing. And so with that, I'll wait for a few minutes if somebody would like to share a good idea or ask something. But if you're done, you can exit. What can one do prior to initiation daily practice? Well, before initiation, you can, if you have learned the bow technique, please practice bow technique. Suppose you have not learned bow technique, you can sit down, calmly sit down, and reflect inwardly and do some prayer and do some deep, slow, long, deep inhalation and exhalation. And we are discussing on Wednesdays. If you're open to come on Wednesday evening, 7:30, we are discussing in a systematic way the concentration, inner withdrawal. We are right now on the pranayama. So we are discussing some pranayama ideas from Yoga Sutra. Most welcome to join. For surrender, love, trust, faith, humility is needed. Of course, yes. For surrender, one of the critical thing needed is knowledge. Because you can, I will request you to explore this. You cannot love somebody without knowledge, without understanding. You cannot trust somebody without understanding. We have actually 3 questions to ponder class today. So there are 3 questions. Swami Atmavidyanaji and Swami Adhyatmanandaji is leading it. So it is at 2 o'clock Chicago time. The details of this Zoom call would be there in the Chicago website, or if you have got emails, or if you send me an email, I can send you back also. What can one do if one's family is emotionally ill and when around they might feel sick also? Please, if you cannot change somebody through words or actions, please pray for them. Just pray internally that this person be well and good. That I pray for his well-being. Internally, the person does not need to know. I request you to experiment this idea. Hold on, I will send you the link for the today's evening 2 o'clock discussion class. This is the class this is the details of the link today. Wednesday link. Oh, I sent to somebody only. So this is the 3 questions. We have a class every second Sunday of the month at 2 o'clock. Generally, few monks come together. It is a very informal discussion class. You can ask a question and we go through some questions and discuss. Sharing ideas. It is not a question and answer session. So people share their own thoughts, ideas also. So it is sharing knowledge. Yes, yes. And today the question is how should we deal with our negative tendencies while following sadhana, how to get rid of negative tendencies, and how to retain joy in meditation. How to retain joy of meditation while working. So please join. It is open for all. Non-Kriya ones like family members can join also. And the discussion is not recorded. That discussion, the 2 o'clock discussion, is not recorded or would not be put into any public forum. It is just like a family discussing together. That's how it is. So thank you very much again. Good wishes from Chicago and my pranam to you all. If you have any ideas that you did not write here but you come across after we finish the class, and remember, you can send an email to Chicago email address templeofharmony@kriya.org. Ideas welcome. If I have done any mistakes, point it out. I will try to correct it. If some concepts are not clear, you want more clarification, please write. All these things that we discussed is from Yoga Sutra classes of Sri Guruji and some reference from other books. So I would be very happy if we can discuss more on this. With this, I bow to you all. May the blessings of God and Gurus be upon us all. Om Tat Sat Om.